Welcome. It's your boy Carcino here. Now, before we get into the rest of the things, I want you to see here. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Boom. Right, those abbies. All right, Drake displayed these abs to the world and wanted to show the whole world his abs. Rick Ross did a funny thing, trolling him. Uh, uh, now, everybody's like, whoa, how did Drake get abs like that? He doesn't seem like these are real. And of course, because of this, Euphoria has jumped up in streams. People have been streaming it and putting up there all the lyrics from the song Euphoria about Drake's abs. Let your core audience stomach that and tell them where you get your abs from. Has definitely been trending now, making Kendrick seem more authentic than ever. Now, we all know this moving forward, but let's get to the gist of the situation. Because, gotta admit, Ross, that is funny. With these Drake abs, and everybody's like, oh, they are fake abs. I'm here, I know exactly what it is, and I'm here to explain it to you. Now, a lot of y'all want to know what's going on with the abs. Now, remember, Drake has, you know, done this before in the past. Like he's lost weight and did his little ab thing before. But if you can see his abs, they're not that defined. They're all over the place. They're not lined up perfect. They're like, you know, just all over. Right? See, this is before when he went to get him and try to bring out his abs and all this stuff, right? Now, the thing about Drake and what people don't realize is that when you go through these type of transformations to your body, the rest of your body normally changes with you. When you do abs, you know, you just don't get it in the front. You're not gonna have love handles with chiseled abs in the front. It just don't really work like that. Your body is burning the fat as you're moving along. So you'll start to see definition somewhere else as well. Now, has he been hitting the barbells? Yeah. You could tell he's been hitting the barbells, trying to get to his new spot of forever. He wants to get to this new plane. That's fine. I can care less what Sloppy is doing. But there's a lot of things going on with plastic surgery that's going on. And what's happening with Drake is a scenario that a lot of people were using in Hollywood. Now the numbers are up 30%. It's something that is called etching. Okay? Doctors are doing it now. And what they're doing is going in from the side with a long needle. And it's like etching out what they're going to do to bring out your abs. So to answer the question, are these Drake abs? Yes, these are Drake's abs. They didn't put any fake abs, like put abs in his stomach. Those are his actual abs. Now, what is going on is that they're being shaped by a procedure called etching. Dr. Larkin is the one that pretty much specialized in it, the Hollywood doctor. Now, if you ask any entertainer, they will tell you, I don't have fake abs. These are my abs. Because they are the abs. But you have to understand something. They're your abs, but you had a procedure done. How do I know all of this took place? Well, here's a 50-year-old boxer by the name of Oscar De La Hoya. Now, Oscar De La Hoya has stated that his doctor, same doctor that works with Drake. I knew this a year ago when everyone said he had fake abs and he had the procedure. Notice the similarities in De La Hoya's abs and Drake's abs. The definition. And notice, you see the line right there across the stomach. That's where the procedure starts. They take the needle in through the middle of the stomach, right there, that line. And then the abs are brought out. You see that, right? Yes, you're getting a cosmetic lesson. So, De La Hoya was boasting that he had saw Drake, because he was defending himself, and was like, there are many athletes out there that have this procedure. It's called, he called it sketching. It's sketching, but it's etching. It's etching. These are really my abs. There are a lot of people. I saw Drake the other day. So he had already told us what Drake was getting. But he's like, I got to work hard to keep it. So Sino has already knew about you, Sloppy. I already knew what you had done. So it's no surprise to me. Well, it's how people move forward when they go into doing what they feel is the right procedure for them. Right? They come in like this and leave like this. This etching process. No, Skip Bayless's is real. I'm gonna tell you that now. Skip's is real. Skip works out every day, like a robot. It's a procedure similar to liposuction that will give you six packs. You know, it sounds and seems a little foolish, but there is a little bit of uneasiness with the technique. Dr. Henry Mentz, he was largely ignored when he had brought this up back in 1992. And they just thought, like, who would do that? So now they didn't really have the technology or the equipment, but now with new technology, they're able to do it. So it's called abdominal etching. Here's what happens when they do one side of it. They're just getting started. They do one side of the etching to bring it out, to bring out the abs that are already there. See? Looks disgusting when they're starting out doing it. And they're trying to bring out the person's abs. What makes it look a bit abnormal. It was pretty much a fringe topic. Nobody wanted to touch it. Then in about 2021, everybody was talking about it. And now it's up like 30% now. Everybody wants a six pack. So Dr. Larkin, I thought his name was Larkin, but it's Larkin, was the plastic surgery who developed the ab etching on his own. And his patients include all the actors, these singers, dancers, models, even adult film stars want them. And, you know, it was a guy from Jersey Shore that went there and got it. And they said, hey, I've always been in shape, but I can never really fully bring my abs out. This helps me bring my abs out. And they're looking at this as the male version of the boob job. 100%. Well, a lot of people say no matter how many crunches I did, I just couldn't bring my abs out. They was like, this ab etching, man, this will last for life. The fat cells is that you don't make new ones. Your fat cells will expand or shrink when you gain or lose weight, but liposuction eliminates the cell itself. This means the six pack, they're going to be there to stay forever, which is good news for you to stay trim. On the flip side, if you gain weight, you're going to look real stupid. So you'll be this fat beer belly guy on the side with a six pack in the front. It's going to look really dumb. The procedure can cost from $5,000 to $30,000. Happy first. Happy birthday to my Uncle Irv. But as you can see, after coming out of that bodysuit, Drake got what he wanted. He got the abs he wanted. Now, Champagne Sloppy, as you can see, look at his arms. Total fat boy vibes. No real muscle structure in the arms. No separations in the muscles. Oh, Champagne Sloppy, man. What are they going to do with you? But there are a lot of people saying since you're... Well, I don't know. He's trying to look like an R&B singer now, I don't know. It seems like he wants to be the Iceman. He wants to be the. I don't know what's going on with this dude, man. It's like he's obsessed with how he look instead of how his song, how his songs sound. Look at this fool. Hey, look at me. I'm ripped. No, you're not ripped. He doesn't know who he is. That's true. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what he is. He's lost and he's confused. And rather trying to find peace or guidance, he's searching for acceptance. So if anybody had questions about this, like the internet's been roasting him. I've often called him fat back. I be fat back. What you doing, man? Fat back got the good back for good old art. It can come out, no bulges, no muscles coming out there. So you got a good old fat back. Champagne sloppy, aka fat back. Now, tell old fatback. That ain't gonna make you black either. Trying to look like you've been in prison yards, lifting weights. That ain't gonna make you black. Sorry. They're still not gonna accept you. And Jewish people are not gonna accept you either. Sorry. No matter how much your mama keep telling you they do, they don't. No matter how much you cater to them, they won't. You know why? Because you put tattoos all over your body, which pretty much excludes you. You know that, right? They saying that's an old custom, old rules. They don't do that anymore. Cap. All these different layers and layouts. But here's the news. Here's the reality of the situation. They do care. They do take that very seriously. You will never be able to be buried in a Jewish cemetery. Sloppy knows the rules. Sloppy has been around for a long time. He knows what's accepted, what isn't accepted, and how he ranks in this situation. I remember when Sloppy was a young Sloppy. And what young Sloppy used to do and what new Sloppy used to do are two different things. See, deep and hard, young sloppy is soft. Yep. Young sloppy is soft. He's weak. Old fatback. He weak. He grew up around weak people. And he had a big fat old back. Old fatback. Now, okay, they right? Now, fatback don't know where he's gonna fit in at. He's stuck in the middle. Like we often said, right? He wants to fit in so bad. Sloppy wants to be a part. He wants to matter. He wants to mean something. Sloppy has to exist in this world of other sloppies. He wants to be an example for all future sloppies to come. He don't want to be the only sloppy out here doing what he's doing. There's only one sloppy out there. And he knows who he is. See, sloppy, you could have been the face, and you are the face for all those mixed children out there who are very confused about their existence, their purpose, all of it. You are the one to give them the hope, sloppy. You the one that they're gonna look at and say, we ready. That's you, sloppy. You the one to lead them to the next level, to the promised land, sloppy. Now, at the end of the day, and get this, because this part concerns you. What's your music sound like? Yeah, I know, right? Sound crazy. But that's where the game changes. Right? That's where it goes right or left. Because the people want to know what your music is sounding like. They have zero concern with anything that is concerning. Zero. Yeah, sloppy. Don't watch them because they sloppy. They come in on some modeling stuff, and you never care that they missing. All over a rap battle, you decided to declare war against YouTube creators radio DJs, other artists, all because you couldn't accept the fact you couldn't accept the loss. You couldn't accept reality. You couldn't accept the situation. Let life be a constant reminder who you are, who you could be, and where you're going to end up if you keep pursuing this ridiculous effort. If you keep going down the road to this god-awful descent into obscurity, Champagne Sloppy has just shown the rest of the world this is what he cares about. The look, the image. But he's not prepared for what's yet to come. Because he's never been. He's never been looked at as an elite MC, or when he was getting songwriting credits. He comes off as a bitter, unapproachable, temperamental, super sensitive narcissist. And when you see this individual, he's never satisfied with himself. Now, if you feel you need to do this to sell your project, then maybe your project isn't what it needs to be. Everyone is anticipating this Clips album. And it has nothing to do with somebody having a six-pack. You know, when LL Cool J came out, right? LL was called the muscle-bound rapper. It was LL got muscles, he's ripped, he's got a six-pack. LL's flexing the muscles on the ladies. So everybody would think, oh, he's soft. And then they would battle LL Cool J, and he'll give them a lyrical beatdown that they never was expecting. So after they get the lyrical beatdown that no one in the world thought they would ever receive in life, then they was like, oh, okay, LL is for real. Like, okay, cool. Like, he really is that guy. Because their minds goes off what they see. So what the record industry tried to do was recreate that. You saw Nelly try to be LL Cool J. He started popping roids and working out. Went and got him a six-pack and went and defined himself. And once he did that, you know, he went into obscurity. There's been other rappers, they tried to find any little light-skinned dude with wavy hair and try to make him LL Cool J. He got a six-pack, he's muscular. But they couldn't make the songs. At the end of the day, you gotta have talent. You gotta be great. So your skill set has to be great. Drake had a gimmick, and his gimmick has run out. Yeah, he even used LL's lyric in the song Nelly did. You talking about, I don't believe Nelly did. Yeah. I wouldn't leave it for nothing. And only a crazy man would. You know, they was trying to make him the new LL Cool J. And that was a terrible career decision by Nelly. That might have been Grills, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on the Patreon, we're going to go through the story with Nelly and this St. Louis guy named, what was his name? His name, not Majestic. God damn it, what's the dude's name? Majestic is the guy from 50 movie. Mischief. Okay, we're going to go into Mischief. And we'll talk about Mischief, this alleged rapper guy, so. I was going to say Majestic. That is not his name. Champagne Sloppy. Yes, he's not. He's someone that in hip hop we look at as a joke. We don't give him any credibility. We don't give him any type of breathing space. He doesn't exist in our parts. So a lot of people I know don't listen to Drake. The majority of his fan base is female. And after the Kendrick Lamar battle, he lost a lot of that female support. The male support he had, a lot of them fell off. They listened to some of his old songs, like Drake Power that he had in the game was his features. Now, people ain't coming to him for features. They just be like, you want a Drake feature? I don't think I want it to right now. Thing ain't going too well with him. You know, all that stuff with Gordo, Camila Cabello, and all that, none of that stuff worked. Like the whole world turned against him. Like that. All sloppy songs flopped. All of them. So T-Pain was right. Drake was like, oh, that didn't work? Okay, well, let me try this one. That didn't work? Oh, they don't like that one? All right, well, let me try this song. They don't like that either? Okay. See, if he'd have took advice and just stepped away and accepted the loss and said, all right, I'm going to accept this and I'm going to come back. His ego couldn't take it. Now he's in court. shelling out millions and millions of dollars. These lawyers eating off you, boy, because you don't have a prayer of actually winning the case. Man, I mean, if you want to talk about the craziest time or the worst times, I mean, when the whole world is laughing at you, that's got to be a new reality for him. His ego can't take it. He just don't know how to process it. He keeps making it worse. Every action done, Kendrick don't even have to make a song. He'll do something really stupid and just piss off people all over again. Now, this whole act he did with the abs made Euphoria get back on the charts. Like, it's back trending again. Like, man, I gotta go hear that line again from Euphoria. I gotta play Euphoria after looking at Drake's abs. Kendrick was right. Now the whole internet is talking about, let your core audience stomach that. And tell them where you get your abs from. Tell them where you get your abs from is the new thing of the week. Roasting you is becoming an everyday thing now. If you want that attention to think that's gonna, increase your sales, but you're supposed to be the A-list superstar. How you go from A to D? Damn, a D-list celebrity that quick. I've never seen that done before. I've never seen somebody lose a rap battle and just go into complete obscurity. Like, he's done. That dude might as well make an R&B album called Welcome to Drake's Place. But everybody talks about, Drake do got a classic album. What Kendrick talking about? It's a classic, you don't have one. He do got a classic album. Drake got a lot of classics. Now that's cap. You missed the point. When he says you don't have one, this is a classic, you don't have one. What would y'all think Drake's best album is? Most people would say, what do you think most people's take of what Drake's best album is? Take Care, right? That is probably the universal pick for Drake's best. Take Care. Now, what if I told you Take Care is the Weeknd's album? People didn't know the Weeknd then. People didn't know the Weeknd was out at that time, because he was a big hit in Toronto. Independently. If you like the Take Care album, then you're a Weeknd fan too. See, Drake manipulated the whole world with the Weeknd, and he tried to play a game with the Weeknd. And this was early in his process of his career. He ain't even put out his second album yet. And he was already doing his Drake shit. Yeah, we'll talk about it when that situation comes full circle. When it's time to go there. Now, here's the matter of provocation that we need to arrive to, which we call the precipice point. Right? Here's the part we need to arrive at. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Kendrick made it be known, and it was very clear, that Drake isn't what he's cracked up to be. He's not what he's propped up to the rest of the world to look like, to exist, to be like. He is an anomaly, a force that has to be dealt with. And accordingly, he's a system. He's a brand. He's not an MC. He's not a real rapper. He's a guy that can write lines, right? And he can just read them nicely. But it doesn't make him the one. Now, we've had countless times. People have said different things and went in different directions. We were always a bit different. Last destination.
The line number, please.
Cancel.
Cancel.
Now, when we start going back and forth with the what's real and what isn't real, and what is accepted and what isn't accepted, you'll start to see that there are a lot more people in this game that want to see you fail than make you. You start peeling back those layers, you're going to get to a whole different kind of onion. That what you think about Drake and what you think you know about him is only on the surface. This is a fake artist. He's a Milli Vanilli if I've ever seen one. And I didn't even know it was this bad until this battle happened. And the more he kept going, the worse it got. With the reference tracks, with Vori and all these other writers coming forward, like all these things was being exposed from like internal decisions, all this fake terrorist acts at his homes. It's a lot of different parameters that don't make a lot of sense. There are a lot of different situations that don't line up. So it's like, how could you still respect someone in that same field? Did he have songs that worked? Yeah, they were great. I mean, they worked out to perfection. They were carved and etched and scarred and created, followed the basically the blueprints of what was done. Like, Drake is like what you would call the guy that comes in and inks it. He's an inker. You have a guy that draws the comic book, and he comes in and inks it and gives it the expressions and everything. So you have an inker. An inker comes in a comic book and gives the character their life, like the and draw a face. But all the other art was done by the artist. The artist would draw and do the pictures, and to actually ink it, the other person would come in and start giving it facial expressions and draw the lines and shading. That's Drake. Somebody else has to draw. Then he can come in and etch. Can Drake formulate a song? Yes, he can. But his writing skills are basic. His flow pattern is basic. This rap battle just showed a class level. So when Kendrick says this is a classic, you don't have one. Meaning you've never made an album on your own. Show me a Kendrick Lamar reference track. It doesn't exist. So when he says this is a classic, you don't have one. Because they belong to somebody else, not really you. Any album that their fans love, they're not hearing you. They're hearing that other guy who that song belongs to. It's their album. You just put your name on it. Now, well, if you looked at the rap battle, Drake pretty much used the same methodical flow that he's always used. It's the same old flow. It's predictable. It's monotone. There's no creativity to it. There's no range. Kendrick Lamar made Euphoria not sound like 616. 616 did not sound like Meet the Grams. Not Like Us don't sound like any of the other ones. Yep. Well, there's a different stanza for everything, isn't it? So it's always going to be up to you. Whatever you decide to do, that decision will be exclusively up to you on who you support, how you support them, the whole nine. So now you know about his abs, you know about his fake everything. So hopefully we done talking about sloppy until he dropped this flop or this next project we don't know anything about yet. So don't forget to go to the Patreon. I'll give you a concise breakdown into explaining some things. Yeah, I was able to garnish a lot. By being the first, we got a lot of stuff coming out. So on that note, we out.